fraud and adulteration have vexed the food sector throughout history, whether they be the consumers, food manufacturers, retailers, or importers. These acts were first addressed in the United States of America since 1784. Food fraud is the deception of consumers through intentional adulteration of food. First, by substituting one product for another. Second, using unapproved enhancement or additive. Third, misrepresenting something such as actual material used and country of origin. Fourth, misbranding or counterfeiting. Fifth, stolen food shipments. And lastly, intentional contamination with a variety of chemicals, biological agents, or other substances that are harmful to public health. According to the Global Food Safety Initiative, most cases of food fraud are not harmful and do not typically lead to widespread outbreak. However, that does not negate the fact that food fraud is potentially dangerous and poses a very real public health concern. Furthermore, food fraud will give rise to another issue, which is halal issue, because the Muslim consumer need to be careful and concerned about all the prohibited ingredients that they need to avoid in their food. Therefore, in this video, we will briefly explain the common issue of food fraud and adulteration of meat, honey, and palm oil. And we will also highlight the suggestion and federal action regarding on this issue.
Pure honey, also known as natural honey, is a pre-digested food that is the healthy sweetener alternative for many people who are unable to digest cane sugar, but also can act as medication because of its therapeutic effects on human health. However, honey also prone to be adulterated by irresponsible humans by direct, indirect, and blending method. So, what are the effects of consumption of adulterated honey for society? Pure honey shows significantly lower toxicity due to containing simple sugar. On the other hand, adulterated honey can result in increasing blood sugar, release of the insulin hormone, type 2 diabetes, abdominal weight gain and obesity, rise in blood cholesterol level, and high blood pressure. Besides obesity and diabetes, long-term consumption of adulterated honey also can cause severe organ toxicity, such as liver. So, honey adulteration is a threat to food safety, food security, and ecological sustainability of this important and valuable product in our society.
Honey adulteration has many impacts on economy and market demand supply. Firstly, the adulteration of honey is a key factor in honey price fluctuation on market. It is due to addition of different amount chips and foreign material. Next, the adulteration of honey will lead to decrease in honey domestic production. It has resulted in significant economic loss because pure honey is difficult to produce and to market. And lastly, any variation of honey price in the international market has a direct impact on beekeeping sectors and also impacts the livelihood of beekeepers. Therefore, the significant impact of honey and adulteration on society and economy shows that the importance of more investigation is needed to honey adulteration.
Now, let's move on to meat adulteration. At the end of December 2020, Malaysians were upheld by the news of illegal meat cartel syndicate which reportedly had been operating for over than 40 years. The meat had counterfeit halal label and were suspected to be imported from non-halal certified slaughterhouses in a few countries such as Brazil, Bolivia, Canada, Colombia, Spain, and Mexico.
These criminal syndicates cover a wide range of issues including the safety of imported meat, supply chain integrity, illegal slaughterhouses, and non-halal meat processing. The illegal meat transaction is believed to be done with the involvement of Malaysian enforcement personnel. The scandal had created doubt of the meat halal status among the society following the exposure that the meat is imported from various animal sources. The society is enraged due to the possibility of having consumed fake halal meat before. The society had urged the government to relook plans to enact the Halal Act. PPIM lead activist Datuk Nazim Johan also stated that the act would indirectly force the authorities to implement stricter supervision on halal meat supply chain. The meat cartel cases are linked with the corruption among Malaysian enforcement personnel, which increased the criminal air in the society. People seized the meat cartel scandal as an opportunity to make illegal profit, in which the authorities were suspected to be involved in the case for accepting and giving bribes. The case had tarnished the integrity of several government bodies as the society began to assume that bribing act is normalized culture. However, looking at the brighter side, the society had become more selective. The case had increased the public's awareness of the importance in examining whatever food they bought. Since the issue had triggered the widespread alarm among the society, people become more concerned about the origin and quality of the meat, eligibility of the seller, and their business license. Significantly, they begin to see the case as a serious quality assurance problem.
This illegal meat cartel syndicate can be seen as economically motivated adulteration. It is well known that the procedure to obtain a halal certificate in Malaysia is quite tedious and costly. Hence, this syndicate profited the illegal suppliers as they get to sell their products legally without concerning its authentic halal quality. The consumers are absolutely deceived by paying the price that are not worth of the meat products. Before the revelation of this syndicate, the locals are most likely to purchase imported frozen meat because it is cheaper. But after the syndicate was uncovered, the buying behavior of consumers shifted to local butchers, especially from Muslim consumers. As a result, the sales of imported meats are decreased while the sales of the local beef sellers increase. This is because the consumers are more aware and being extra cautious for their purchase.
The last issue is adulteration of palm oil. Adulteration of palm oil is a oil that was added with the recycled palm oil. Recycled palm oil is a used cooking oil that was considered as a wasted. However, producer mix it into the fresh oil. All consumers supposedly get the fresh oil from the market, suits with the price they have paid. There are two impacts of adulterated palm oil into the society. The first one is affecting the consumer health. Overconsumption of adulterated palm oil could lead to rising case of cancer, kidney disease and heart failure. This is because used cooking oil contains free radical molecules that will damage the cell body. Second impact is consumer will lose trust and expectation from the palm oil producer. As we all know, palm oil is a must-have cooking oil in every house. If this issue was involving some company, consumer will lose trust of the company and they will boycott the product. This could lead to huge profit loss to the producer.
Next, we move to the impact of palm oil adulteration to economy. Firstly, the traders of adulterated palm oil will gain more profits. This is because customers will buy the palm oil because they will think that the palm oil that have been sold is the fresh one, but actually it has been adulterated with recycled cooking oil. Next, the production cost of adulterated palm oil become low. This is because in Taiwan, they have been used magnesium trisilicate as a food additive to the used cooking oil in order to filter undesirable fats and impurities to produce the clearer cooking oil. So, from this, the production of adulterated palm oil become increased with the low cost of production spent. To be concluded, adulterated palm oil have the crucial impact to the society and the economy. For the society, the consumers can get the bad health effects such as hypertension, atherosclerosis, and also cancer. In terms of economy, the traders of adulterated palm oil will gain more profits with the low cost of production use.
Previously, my friends stated that there are three types of food that are commonly being fraud and adulterated, which is honey, meat, and oil palm. So, in this part, we suggest 3 steps on how to stop food fraud and adulteration. So, the first one is customer awareness. We suggest that government should hold a campaign to ensure that customer awareness can be increased. Second one is the application of science and technology. We suggest that government should create a rapid test kit (RTK) so that customer can test the food, so they know the food that they are being bought is real or being fraud. Lastly, government should play an important role for this issue so the issue can be stopped immediately. Government should practice or do an annual spot check so that manufacturers and factories are complying to act and regulation properly, so the food that are being sold to customer are not fraud or adulterated. Thank you.
Federal actions on food fraud and adulterations have been stated in Food Regulations 1983 and 1985. Regulations 130 in Food Act 1985 mention that honey should be the sugary product obtained from the comb of the honeybee. It shall contain not less than 60% of reducing sugar, which is dextrose anhydrous, and have an apparent of sucrose content of not more than 10%. Other than that, refined, bleached, deodorized palm oil shall be edible oil obtained from a process of expression or solvent extraction or both. It shall not contain more than 10 gram or kilogram of unsaponifiable matter. This also been stated in Regulation 196 in the same Act. Regarding to our issues, it is an offence under Section 13B2E in Food Act 1983 to prepare or sell any food that fails to comply the standards or specifications that stipulated under the Act. Those convicted can be fined Rm20,000 or imprisoned for no more than 5 years or both.
All in all, food fraud and adulteration is a serious issue as it can cause many negative impacts. The most concerning impact is it can lead to various health complications for the consumers due to its impact on the food safety. Besides, it can also cause damage to brand reputations as they have lost the consumers' trust. Therefore, we are ought to spread knowledge about this issue among the society because prior knowledge regarding this issue can affect the consumer's behavior. On the grounds of this, we are able to overcome this issue together. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.